the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Lawyer Paul Admochiri at Masina, NDC Sunday press conference on Koye Chinche, and then ye Obum to say po. Sami Nsem-Pii, and now Yura, and now say His Excellency former President John Dramani Mahama, and some Mokaye, Bawa Mutari. Omaniboma was so far so good and easy. So we organize a press conference. But at least as all recommend you no bomb basso. But I name because what and pay kura. Na Shamima also a points come on. Now where the we are mistakes and then near ma you were out or tea a gum a press conference. His Excellency former President John Dramani Mahama was a and you may be a no nimana, and now said your kind guntumpu kakra, no kakra, what the fra. Now, what to me, I agree. So this time, journalists allows her the truth now, and over beginning in a P and try John Dramani Mahama, and it died, and then or punching out. I'm a tifo, we be who say a year and tronco. A tifo, Yankoningoti, Lawyer Paul Admochiri, and Mara Ordinance.
These four people at the outset: Dr. Omane Boama, Dr. Joyce Bawa Montgari, Evangelist Sam George, and Samuel Nsem-Pii, the National Propaganda Secretary of the National Democratic Congress. So from left to right, Evangelist Sam George, Dr. Omane Boama, Dr. Joyce Bawa Montgari, Barrister at Law and Solicitor of the Supreme Court of Ghana, Samuel Nsem-Pii, the National Propaganda Secretary of the National Democratic Congress. I'd like to applaud these four people, ladies and gentlemen, for putting this John Mahama press. Oh, I said one more name, Apriku, you forgot. I said Standogbe. Don't be forgetting these things. I said Standogbe. I said it. Please, Standogbe is part of it. Standogbe is a very big part of it. And I'd like to congratulate all of them for putting together this NDC press conference. I have a montage for them. If Standogbe is not in the montage, it's because my producer forgot. Because Sam George, Dr. Omane Boama, Dr. Joyce Montgari, and Samuel Nsem-Pii, together with Stanislav Hosset-Dogbe, they put together a brilliant program. And I think that we should all emulate it if our politicians are doing that all the time. It's a great thing. So before we begin the assessment, let us start with the congratulations. This is for all of you who put. Samuel Nsem-Pii was sitting down at the press conference making notes. Beautiful notes, I'm sure he made. He was the moderator of the main event. He was making notes. He made so many notes, that he forgot that John Mahama hadn't answered some question. I was totally shocked. NDC, all these intelligent people, you held the president to meet the press. Somebody is definitely writing down the stuff. Somebody is writing it down. A few years ago, Akufo-Addo held a press conference. One of his press conferences was president. You will remember, the video is there. I can show it to you. When Akufo-Addo was whispered to by his ministers behind him, by Oboshisai, and Akufo-Addo said, they said I've not answered some question correctly. What question was that? Lady, come and tell me. He went to whisper. He said, oh, yes. So she says that I didn't answer your question well, Mr. So-and-so. So the answer to your question is That's simple. I mean, these press conferences are exhaustive. The planning is detailed, and that's why I'm congratulating them. It's not simple to put up those things. It's not simple at all. That's why I'm congratulating them. But you always have to know and be sure that your candidate has answered the question. Not that he has dodged the question, that's a different matter. Not that he has circumvented the question, that's a different matter. That the question has not even been answered. Here was a journalist who was called to ask his own question. And then he said, but Mr. President, you have not answered Umaru Sanders' question, and you have not answered this man's question. Do you know why that happened? I tell you, and I don't know whether they've stopped. In those days when we are going to press conference in the Joy Newsroom, and when I was in City FM, we agree on the Joy FM questions and the City FM questions. So I'm sure that's what they did. So the question that Umaru Sanders had asked was a City FM question. Therefore, when his boss Bernard Avle stood up, he knew that that City FM question had not been answered. Sami Nsem-Pii said he was going to take the questions in 5, which is okay, which is perfect. But he should have known that the president has not answered certain questions. Listen to Bernard Avle.
Thank you very much, Sami. Thank you, Mr. President. I think there are two pending questions that were forgotten. The sports question and then the Umaru Sanda question on OSP. Thank you very much, Sami. Thank you, Mr. President. I think there are two pending questions that were forgotten, the sports question and then the Umaru Sanda question on OSP. Thank you very much, Sami. Thank you, Mr. President. I think there are two pending questions that were forgotten.
They're forgotten. And Bernard Avler was... But why is... I've seen this MP people post this picture so many times. I think Bernard makes this face when he's trying to understand something. He's not suggesting that John Mahama was saying something wrong. But this photograph has been used all over the place. I don't know whether it was taken immediately after he asked his question, but this is the face of a journalist. Nsem-Pii was unaware that the question was not answered. The journalist was reminding them that the question was not answered. Let me not belabor that point. That's okay. I think that's well said. Okay, what do we get to next on the agenda? I think it's free SHS. That's the part that I was getting iked. I was getting completely iked. What is this conversation about? We have been in this country. We have all been in this country. We have seen political campaigns from 2008. We have seen the political campaign of 2012. We've seen the political campaign of 16 and 20. Where is it that NDC introduced free SHS? And if NDC introduced free SHS in 2015, if John Mahama introduced free SHS in 2015, why did the NDC spend money to produce advertisements that free SHS was not possible? What happened? Why did Fifi Kwete say that when they say free SHS, all lie be lie? Why didn't Fifi Kwete say that? What are they talking about free SHS? We have already started it. Why didn't he say that? That, in fact, it irked me a lot because I think Ghanaians have been taken for granted. We are serious people. We are a serious country. We are going to a serious election. Free SHS cannot be for NDC. And today, President Akufo-Addo alluded to it. This is the same Akufo-Addo that you heaped insults on, you heaped a thesis of laughter on, you heaped all sorts of incompetence and arrogance on him on the basis that he was promising free SHS. Akufo-Addo could easily have left the free SHS because it was becoming a problem for him. He used it in 2008, he didn't win. He used it in 2012, he didn't win. He used it in 2016 again, and he insisted that it will happen. And the reason why I'm passionate about it is that it's not only John Mahama and NDC people who thought free SHS was not possible. When Akufo-Addo was introducing free SHS, members of his cabinet thought that, Mr. President, this thing, stop it. They felt so. And they had a basis to feel that. They said, Mr. President, this free SHS, stop it. Akufo-Addo said, what are you talking about? This is my promise to the Ghanaian people, and I will achieve it. Today, we are going into another election, and NDC is able to say that they brought free SHS. Watch John Dramani Mahama in 2016. Let me use that first before I come to today. This was John Mahama in 2016 at the heat of the election. In fact, he had even losing his voice because the election campaign was heated up, and it's going to happen again this year. At the heat of the election campaign, at the pinnacle of the free SHS conversation in 2016, this is what the president said. At that time, he was President John Dramani Mahama. This is what he said.
Saying that Ghana must not introduce free SHS on the whimsical promise of a desperate politician. Many mistakes have been made by countries in Africa already with free SHS. Saying that Ghana must not introduce free SHS on the whimsical promise of a desperate politician. Many mistakes have been made by countries in Africa already with free SHS.
6. At the heat of the campaign, Ghana must not introduce free SHS on the whimsical promise of a desperate politician. Who is that desperate politician? Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is what he was referring to. Many African countries have made mistakes with this. I mean, are they taking us for some... What are they taking us for? You told us this in 2016. On the heat of the campaign, at the pinnacle of the free SHS conversation. Ghana must not implement free SHS on the whimsical promise of a desperate politician. The politician who is desperate. Now you claim that you brought it. Please, journalists, Ghanaians, let's get serious. Otherwise, are we allowing politicians to just take us for any ride? The desperate politician who has now been successful with free SHS and has won 2 terms on the back of the Ghanaian voter, you are now telling us that the free SHS that you said that as president that Ghana will not implement it on the desperate promise on the whimsical promise of a desperate politician, you now own it. I mean, wow. And why? How? I mean, the communication people, you heard this? And you were smiling. And no media house is asking any questions. It's okay, it's fine. It's all right. It's okay, John Mahama has spoken. It's okay, let's move on. You can do this in America. I'm going to show you a tape of Donald Trump in his campaign in 2024. And you understand what I'm saying. Throughout this press conference, John Dramani Mahama made only 15% reference to his tenure as president. Is it that's what Akufo-Addo was saying today? That why is it that we don't know President Mahama? Why is he being packaged as if he's a new person? You think that Ghanaians? I don't know how. I'm not sure how they see Ghanaians. I don't understand it. You told us in 2016 that this policy will not, those were your words, be implemented on the whimsical promise of a desperate politician. That many African countries had made mistakes doing free SHS. 2016. Then you come in 2024 to tell us that, oh, I implemented free SHS. I started it. Hey! Why? What wrong have we done? Show the press conference. Free SHS. Show it. John Mahama on free SHS.
In 2015, I launched progressive free SHS. That's what the Constitution says. The only difference between us and Nsem-Pii is the approach. We thought that we should put the infrastructure in place and we should do the necessary preparation to absorb the free SHS. And so we started with day students. We made it free for day students. And in the second year, we absorbed 120,000 students on the free SHS. Nana Addo himself lauded me. It's there in the media. Just if I had my phone here, I would Google it. They say Nana Addo lauds Mahama's free SHS. It's there. UNESCO, congratulated us for launching the free SHS. How can a person who launched free SHS be against free SHS? And so it's a political gimmick that is played by our opponents. Free SHS has come to stay. And nobody can roll it back. All we're saying is, let's improve the implementation. Let's take away the bottlenecks. Let's work to abolish the fast track. Let's be able to feed the children better by decentralizing the school feeding, the free SHS school feeding program. So those are all the kinds of initiatives we're thinking about. But we can only take that decision if we come together as stakeholders and discuss freely the challenges that it faces. Today, there is not the environment for a free discussion of free SHS. Ask any teacher or headmaster. If they make comments adverse to the conditions and implementation of free SHS, they are either sacked or they are transferred to Siberia. And so we must change that. We must free them to be able to come up and talk about it and discuss free SHS and how we can improve it. My commitment is to improve it. And so
this is a good one. I will improve it. That is welcome. But if he says that he brought free SHS, that is false. Listen to Fifi Kwete.
Free SHS. That is what we call all lie be lie. Free SHS.
Speaking in 2016's campaign, said that when you hear Akufo-Addo talk about free SHS, that's what we mean by all lie be lie. If John Mahama implemented free SHS, how was this possible in 2016? This is Accra High School. This is Accra High School. This is 2016. This is their school fees. How is it free? How was it free? This is 2016 when John Mahama was president. He said he started free SHS in 2015, the year before. This is Accra High School fees. 2015. Today, this is not possible. This is not possible today. It was possible in 2016. How then did John Mahama start free SHS in 2015? NDC should give us a break. Do the campaign. Good luck in the campaign. Tell us the truth. Tell us what you want to promise, but don't give us falsehood because you want to win election. We will not accept that because we haven't forgotten. Don't give us falsehood. Don't give us that falsehood. This is Accra High. Joyce Bauer, Montgomery, you are watching. This is Accra High school fees. To explain all of them. The stage was set on this occasion for John Dramani Mahama to explain what the 24-hour economy policy is all about. Listen to what he said.
This is not just a promise, it's a commitment. I will reset the economy and Ghana will be open for business for 24 hours a day. Leadership is about vision, and the 24-hour economy is the vision to create decent and well-paying jobs. When I talk about a 24-hour economy, we need to understand the underlying vision behind that policy. The 24-hour economy is the means to an end, and the end is putting Ghana on a solid foundation for accelerated growth and development. We need to attain the growth rhythm that will turn our country into a developed economy and eliminate the abject levels of poverty we are witnessing today. An economy that will manufacture many of its needs, including food and beverages, drugs, clothing, and more, such that we can address the exchange rate volatilities due to needless imports. The world is moving very fast. We need to keep up with this new rhythm. So first, think of the 24-hour economy as an accelerator, the best accelerator or catalyst we could possibly have. A 24-hour economy will increase the production and distribution of goods and services and accelerate the economic exchanges between people and companies. And with that, we will start growing at an unprecedented pace while providing decent jobs for our young people.
I heard it, but this is talking about, it says it's an accelerator. It is to increase the production of goods and services. What is it? He didn't say. What John Mahama said, I could have said, any politician can say it, that we are working to accelerate growth and 24-hour economy will increase goods and services, will increase the production. How will it increase the production? Are we going to create more factories? Did President Mahama do factories? Has Akufo-Addo done factories? If 24-hour economy is about factories, then perhaps Akufo-Addo is nearer than John Mahama, because John Mahama in his time couldn't do one factory, one single one. It's not there. Akufo-Addo has done one. The other day I interviewed Okujeto Ablakwa. He said, one this one factory, they've only done 10. 10. Forget about 10. One. Akufo-Addo has done one. Ekumfi, one. You forget about the rest. One. Ekumfi is working. If John Dramani Mahama says 24-hour economy is about increasing services and goods, what did he do as president? Why did the press conference not say anything about President Mahama's record as president? Zero. And I'm wondering, I'm coming back to the gang of five. Sam George, Standogbe, Joyce Bauer, Sammy Nsem-Pii, them. Please, you didn't tell the president to say anything about, you want Ghanaians to forget it, that he never became president? What is the record of John? Why didn't he defend his record at a press conference? I will show you Donald Trump, who is defending his record stoutly. That this is what we did. This is what we did and we can do it again. Why is John Dramani Mahama not speaking about his record? The man has been district chief executive, assemblyman. He's been member of parliament, deputy minister, minister, vice president, president, running for president for the second time after he lost office. And he didn't say anything about his tenure. Nothing about his legacy. Zero. 3 hours. He spoke as if he's never been president before. Everything was, I will do, I will do. Nothing substantial on this was my presidency. This is what I did. The most important part that defined John Mahama's presidency, and I like John Mahama's photography as I talk about this. The most important part that defined John Mahama's presidency was energy. Whether you are a John Mahama supporter who is looking at John Mahama's energy sector as increasing the energy supply by bringing in barges and bringing in alternative energy production, alternative to hydro, bringing all of those things in, fixing BOSS, GMPC, Professor Mills, First Oil. Whether you look at John Mahama as a friend, as a supporter, and you look at the energy situation, or you look at John Mahama as an opponent, and therefore you talk about doomsday, whichever way you look at it, John Dramani Mahama's presidency was defined by energy. 3 hours press conference, nothing said on energy. I don't get it. What is going on? Communicators, why? Who are you deceiving? Are you hoodwinking? Are you trying to hoodwink the people of Ghana? What are you talking about? This is